This is a replay of PCD group therapy session number 7. How did we get here already? I'm Melanie, and let's just sit tight for a little bit while people roll into the live. And yay, there's Marina and the Jean Jacket girls. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Marina. Okay, you know I'm going to ask, can you hear me? I think you probably can. Marina, can you let me know? Can you hear me okay? Happy Wednesday. Yes. Hi, Lori. Somebody, please tell me if you can hear me. Please tell me if you can hear me. Why is this? Okay, thank you. I always have to ask like 27 times. Thank you. There's Megs. Hi, Megs. Yay. Okay. All right, thank you. Just on the lookout for Ashley. Okay, maybe there's like a delay or something because now all the responses are rolling in. People are telling me they can hear me. How is everybody doing? Hopefully you're doing well. It's freezing where I am. Please let me know your name and where you're joining us from. And while I give my dog a treat because he's having a little meltdown. There we go. Thank you. Yes, I thought the Brittany hoodie was appropriate because something weird is going on there. I'm not like a major conspiracy theorist, but something's definitely fishy going on with Brittany right now. Hi, Margaret. Has anybody seen Ashley? Oh God, big storm on the way for us in Toronto tomorrow. Yay. Let's see. Ashley, hello. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Sky Eye Blue. Oh. How old is your fur baby? And are you, is this a dog or a cat? Yeah, Ashley just mentioned, I messaged her like a couple minutes before we were to start. She's like, I'm just gonna go get my tea and my water. So she might be standing there watching like a kettle boil. I have no idea. I see our first guests are here. And let's see, Ashley Okay, Ashley, anytime now. Hi, Jules and Kayla. Oh, he's 7 years old and he's a pity. Oh, I'm sorry. What are we discussing tonight, Melissa? What do we always talk about? We're talking about new kids. And I was reminded a few days ago that it's now been 8 weeks, so like 2 whole months since the cruise, which is just like wild. Okay, I'm going to try to find Ashley. Hopefully she's made her tea. There we go. Ashley, please accept the invite. Okay, I knew that much, Melissa. Yes, okay, I was being sarcastic. Yeah, we're the usual stuff, Melissa. We're talking about the cruise and like being a blockhead, all that good stuff. Hi, Chance. And yeah, 8 weeks. It's been like 2 months. Wild. Oh my gosh. Ashley, are you receiving my invites? I keep inviting you. If you're not receiving my invites, Ashley, can you request to join? Maybe I can get you in that way. Because otherwise, I might be doing this alone. I don't know. Hi to Amber. Okay, Ashley, I'm getting a message that's saying Gacky Girls is unable to join. Do you maybe want to try from your personal account or just, okay, there we go. Okay, you've joined. go live with Khaki Girls. Let's try again. It's always something. It's always something with Instagram Live. Hi.
Whoops. Hi.
What happened?
Well, I had my new ring light on and I don't like it.
Oh dear.
So
You're looking a little fuzzy.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's
um,
happening.
yeah, I mean, can you play around with the settings? Like, do you have like the cool and the warm and then like that blue setting?
I think I'm just gonna turn it off actually,
Okay, okay.
but it's fine. It'll be fine. I don't like the glare off my glasses.
Ah, okay.
Whoa.
There we go. There's some extra light. Yeah, that's good.
But look at my
Well, yeah, you didn't have that the last time.
well, I didn't have my ring light on.
We didn't
It's
have the ring
too
light.
much ring light.
Can you see okay though without the glasses?
Yeah, I'm turning it off. Okay, we're good. Just ignore me for 2 seconds.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Better.
Hi, Melissa. Okay, we have got a solid 51 people in here. Thank you so much, everyone, for finding time in your evening to hang out with Ashley and me and our guests and, of course, each other. So please chat away in the chat, and I will bring up our first guest. How's that? Okay?
Perfect.
All right.
You're on top of it.
Okay. The suspense.
Very excited about the guest.
Same. Always excited about the guest. Hey, hi.
Hi, guys.
Okay, so now you guys need to introduce yourselves. Who are you and what do you do?
So, I'm Jim, and this is PJ, and we do a lot of things, but mostly goats and soap and.
Yeah, we have a dairy goat farm. We have 8 children, and we all work together to make stuff with goat milk. That's what we do.
And you are very busy, so much so that when we were arranging all of this, they had asked if they could go first because you guys have to get up really early, right, for the goats?
Yeah. Yeah.
What time is it where you're at right now?
It's 9, whatever.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what time do you normally get up for the goats?
Well, it's not so much that the goats, like right now, the goats are not being milked because they're growing their babies. So that's fairly easy. It's just to get up early before all the customers start arriving on the farm so we can clean up all the night stuff and do all of that is kind of important.
Got it. And sorry, I'm not sure we asked, where are you joining us from?
Yeah, so we're in southern Indiana, just about a half hour north of Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, welcome. How many cruises have you been on?
This was our first one. We'd never been on one before.
Yeah, we've done regular cruises, but not a new kids cruise.
Yeah,
right,
which is an entirely different animal.
Yeah, which is not a regular cruise.
No, it's not even close.
I thought it would be so interesting to have you guys join us just because it was such like a different experience. Being your first New Kids on the Block cruise, it seemed like you guys had a blast. You had your whole family there. So tell us, you were there because you are a sponsor. You have a partnership with Danny Wood, but also you had a lot of people with you.
Yeah. So we have 8 children, and they range in age from almost 16 to 26. And we brought all of them except for the oldest because she has 3 little kids. She has 3 kids, 4 and under. So she wasn't able to come. So she was really sad that we all went without her. But yeah, so everybody else, including including at the time a wife and 2 girlfriends, which are now a wife and 2 fiancés, including one who proposed on the island during the cruise. So, yeah.
What a perfect...
Oh, gosh.
That's amazing.
Sorry.
That's okay.
And smell is too much for me. Yeah, the barn does get a little smell. But
yeah, they're outside most of the time.
So we've been asking everybody on our little live to tell us about what was your most legendary moment on the cruise for each one of you.
You gonna go first?
But For me, it was actually kind of a quiet moment.
Yeah.
It was hanging out with a group of blockheads over coffee, while my whole family was off on the island because I really needed that coffee. But it was really kind of eye opening for me. It was the first time I actually got to understand a little bit about the blockhead community because we're still fairly new to this, and it was really it was I'll never forget it. It was just so different.
Yeah. For me as the mom, watching my kids just have so much fun was just tremendous. My two youngest got up on the stage at one point and just the glee and they were just so like best moment ever of their lives, and they would like turn around and look at me and just wave like this, like they just thought it was the greatest thing. So watching that was super fun. I just had a great time. I had a good conversation with John one night, and that was a lot of fun because I got to know him a little bit, and obviously with what he's doing with his farm and stuff, so there was some commonality there. So we had fun doing that. But yeah, it's just everything was just so super.
So that was one of the questions that I had for you guys, being that you were there with like the majority of your children and, fiancés now and other family members. What is it like? Because we've done this experience as, fans on the cruise, but what was the experience like going with your family? Especially like your girls are adorable, but they're just like having the time of their lives. What was that like?
Yeah, so we've worked really hard. I've always told the children, don't be afraid to laugh at yourself. Don't be afraid to, do things that wouldn't necessarily make you comfortable to have fun, right? And some of them are more natural at that than others. Some of them is really hard. And every one of them broke out of their shell, talked to everybody, danced the whole time. There wasn't a shy bone in any of their bodies, and to just watch them interacting. One of my sons got totally. We still talk about it today, but helped and we'll just say older than him, drunk lady back to her room one time because he was afraid she wouldn't make it there safely and stuff, and they all just in their own way talked to so many other blockheads and got to know people and just had a blast. I mean, we still talk about it just about every day, except when my oldest daughter, who's not around, who couldn't come, we try not to talk about it in front of her.
She can come on the next one.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Personally cruised with my sisters, so I know like what a fun kind of family experience is, kind of get ready. Did you guys do any of the dressing up? Did you have any costumes for any of the theme nights?
We did.
Yeah, in fact, Graydon was showing me a picture today of he and his now fiancee girlfriend then on I guess it was 80s night. He says he just holds it up. This picture is just so perfect, Dad. And it's just he's in he's got the aviator sunglasses and this wig and yeah. So they absolutely went all out on that and really enjoyed it.
Yeah. We dressed up for all the nights, and there was a little bit of bickering before we left about what some of the costumes were going to be, but we kind of settled that and got through with that. And once
That's
that
a lot
was
of
done,
costumes to come up with. Is that 12 costumes? 12 people in all?
Yeah, there were 12 of us. Yeah, exactly. So it was kind of like, well, how do we do this? But we custom ordered our T-shirts for GPS night,
Right.
So that because we're all of us, we're kind of from around different places. When bringing the significant others and such, so it was kind of hard to nail down a coordinate. But the farm is definitely kind of where we're all from. So that was how we did that.
Yeah.
A few people have asked, were you fans of the New Kids before the cruise and before working with Danny? Like, you can be honest. It's okay.
Yeah. So we are actually like the age that the guys are. Okay.
Yeah.
So when they were kind of getting big, we were that same age. But I come from a town where where Steven Tyler met Joe Perry, Aerosmith.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, that's what we were listening to. And she's a New Jersey girl.
I grew up with, so we were always
She was, bumping into Bruce Springsteen at the hot dog stand. So that was kind of our background musically, but of course, growing up at the same time as the guys, we knew the songs, but we were never hardcore boy band groupies.
You were blockheads.
No, we were not. But the amazing thing is, our kids, particularly the two girls, are bonkers fanatics.
Yeah. They've just, they know every single lyric. They were putting up the Christmas tree last night. And I'm I'm listening to the music they're playing, and it was the New Kids Christmas, album. Yeah. And I was like, okay, which
they had Joey's Christmas album, and they found a playlist on Spotify or something. It was just, so.
Yeah, so it was all fairly, I mean, we obviously knew a bunch of the songs, but didn't really know the guys all that well and everything. So yeah, it was kind of new.
The girls are like all of us. Once you get hooked in, they're in now. I love that. That's so much fun.
Yeah.
So who had more fun, do you think, on the cruise? You two or your kids?
I would have to say the girls did, yeah, by far. And then probably me.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I was a very close second, but Danny actually got the kid. I never thought I'd be jealous of my two little girls, but Danny got them bar stool seats to the Lexington concert, the two of them, and I was like, what? You've got the Barstool tickets. I'm like, that's not fair. So that was, I definitely say they probably did. They told the story of, they were down there and We Are Family came on, and Jordan went up to them, and the two of them were standing with their heads next to each other, and he grabbed their two cheeks and just went like this, how cute they were. And that was like, I'm never washing that cheek again.
I actually remember that because I was on that side of the stage, and I remember him going up to them because they were standing kind of on, stage right. But it looked like they had the best time ever, so it was really fun to watch.
Yeah, no, it was everybody in their own, in their own way had different special things, but I definitely give them the top spot.
So now that the cruise is over, and now I guess you've kind of answered it. The girls were listening to the music, setting up the Christmas tree, but will you go on another cruise with New Kids on the Block given the opportunity?
Yeah, they're already like, there's no doubt that the minute that is announced, they're like, so we are there. I don't think that's even an option for us at this point. It was definitely something, and as incredible as it was with the guys, the blockheads are just so nice. Like, we just had so much fun meeting all the people around us that, it wasn't just going there and watching and listening to the guys and dancing and all of that. I mean, it was the whole experience that made it really, really special.
Yeah, I was totally blown away, just at how caring really everybody is for each other, and whether it was your first cruise or whether it was your 13th cruise or something like that, just talking to people and, just the way that they care for each other. I'm so eloquent, especially at this time.
At this time of night. And we just absolutely loved the sign language interpreter. We'll still be at the table and the kids will go, shot, 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 and just get so excited. And I'll be like, yeah, okay, no shots for you just yet, but,
But when it is time, they know the ASL sign for it, right?
Exactly.
We all learned that. Yeah.
Well, we don't want to take too much of your time, but again, real quick, so everyone who's watching right now, you guys are the owners of Goat Milk Soap.
Goat milk stuff.
Right.
Mhm.
You have
Yeah.
soda. Because so very, very quickly, you are a sponsor with Danny for the Woodworks
Yep.
of
Mhm.
amazing. Tell everyone where they can find your stuff and more information about what you guys do real quick.
Yeah, so our website is just goatmilkstuff.com. And I should point out, these were the t-shirts that we got for us and for the guys for the cruise. And so many people have asked for them that we are working on getting a run of them made. So if anybody wants them, send us an email. There's like a contact form on the website, and tell us what size, because we're working on putting together an order for that. But yeah, goatmilkstuff.com, and we're really good at answering emails.
So what does the shirt say?
So the shirt is 5 goats on a block, and it says "Goat Kids on the Block."
Right.
We all
And yeah, so
Yeah.
and if you look really closely, you can kind of tell the personalities.
Yeah,
which
we
goat-
have an opinion on which goat is which guy, but yeah, we definitely made that when we were designing it.
be careful, because if you ask us as blockheads to submit what size shirt we want, you're gonna get some orders coming in. So
Yeah, that's why, because it's so hard to just do a run when you don't, you always end up ordering the wrong sizes. So that's why we
Right.
just, we're gonna put a run in. We got to meet a certain minimum quantity and do that. And so if people want to do that, that'll help us make those decisions.
okay,
Yep.
so you want to ask our last question there?
Is it Lido or Lido?
Yeah, all Lido.
Yeah, grew up watching Love Boat, and they always said Lido. So,
Did they?
well, I mean, that's I'd never heard it Lido until I was on this group. So,
Yeah, no, Lido all the way.
for what
Well,
it's worth.
thank you so much again for making the time to join us and for chatting with us. It was great getting to know you, and we
Yeah,
will see you on the next cruise.
All right,
Pleasure.
awesome.
Thanks.
Sounds good.
And I know you guys and your whole family, you're going to be taking up the whole Barstool section of like the Lexington, Kentucky show, right? Yeah.
Yeah, let's
All
just see if
50
we
or
can.
60 seats.
That's right. Sign us up. No.
That's awesome. Well, thanks so much, guys. We appreciate you. Everyone
All right.
watching
All right.
Goat Milk
Have a
Stuff.
good night.
On in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
There we go. All right.
They are adorable.
I didn't get to meet them on the boat, but I do remember on GPS night, I do remember all of them wearing their branded t-shirts.
Those shirts are amazing. I need one.
What about the new Goats on the Block shirt? Are you gonna get one of those?
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell
Hold
them. I'm gonna email like, I need a size large, please.
Okay, I'm gonna grab our next guest. Let me find her. Okay. Sorry, my dog, as usual, is whimpering away. There she is. Hi, Amber.
Hi, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Perfect. I was kind of worried about that. I went ahead and stayed up at the school because I have dogs at home and I wasn't even going to mess with all that. So,
We have to say
boy. Yeah, we're used to, the ambient sound of like barking and whimpering dogs in the background.
yeah,
It happens.
yeah. Mine mainly barks a lot. And
Okay.
so, yeah, he's a mini Aussie Doodle. We have a mini Aussie Doodle and then we have a golden doodle. And it's just the mini one. She likes to bark at everything.
At
So,
everything. Yeah.
everything.
I have a cockapoo, and if there's the slightest sound in the hallway, he just goes berserk. He just
Yeah.
not approve. So
Yeah.
hopefully nothing sets him off tonight.
Yeah, right.
So for anybody who hasn't met Amber, this is Amber. And if you were
Yes.
here last
Oh, there's
week,
Eric.
if
Eric.
you were here last week, oh my gosh, John was telling us about you and the infamous way that the two of you met, and we were like, we have to get, we know Amber, but we're like, we got to get her on here too, because she's got so many wild adventures. And there's Roller Coaster John right there.
Yeah,
So-
lots of adventures for sure.
So where are you joining us from, and how many cruises have you been on?
So I'm from Texas. I live in a town called Ennis, and I'm about 35 minutes south of Dallas. I have been on 4 cruises. Our first one was 2016, and I swore, okay, let's just do it once.
One and
Because
done.
yeah, because my daughter was the one that really wanted to do it. I didn't even know that it was a thing until she had found it in like the New Kids message boards. At
Yeah.
that time, I guess they had message boards, and she was always in the message boards. And so she wanted to start going, around 16, 17. And I was like, absolutely not, you know. And then when she was 19, they were doing it out of New Orleans. And I thought, well, I mean, that's drivable, we'll do one and see. And then here I am 4 cruises later. So
That's
Go ahead.
hilarious. And
Go
I
ahead, Ashley.
18 on the cruise. And was that the first year that you did the Fozzie outfit?
yes, yeah.
Okay. That's when I met you, was the night you were dressed as Fozzie Bear, which was
Yes,
kind
look, I have a little Fozzie with me. I brought my little Fozzie hat.
of, so what
Yes.
facilitated that costume that year?
Say that one more time.
What like facilitated that costume? Like how
I
did you decide on that?
It's just like even with all of them, I always kind of want to think outside the box, and I don't want to do something that someone else is going to do. And so I really think back as, as a kid, what was it that I loved so much, or what would bring me so much joy? And Fozzie is my favorite Muppet Babies, which I know is more 80s, but this was for 70s night, and the Muppets were out in the 70s. And so I just would look up different, I mean, they had like a full blown Fozzie costume, but I was like, there's no way I'm going to wear that. It's way too hot and it would look ridiculous. And so when I found this little hat on, it was Disney that was selling the hat, I thought, oh my gosh, this is perfect. And so then I just kind of made an outfit with, with the hat. And look, Donnie autographed it. He autographed, because he loved Fozzie on the cruise. So he autographed the hat, and yeah.
What year did he autograph it?
Well, so this is the thing. So 2018, I got pulled up on stage because they were playing Motley Crue.
Oh, I remember.
So that is my all-time favorite band, is
Yeah.
Motley Crue, and they were playing "Kickstart My Heart." And I had been on 2 cruises prior to that. That was my 3rd cruise. Never have I heard them play Motley Crue on the Lido deck. So I was losing my shit. You know what I mean? Like just losing it. Like just I didn't even know where I was. Like I was in a zone because I love karaoke and I love to sing. So I'm in this zone, and Cedric is next to me, and I'm in this zone just rocking out, and I feel him like, doing this, and I'm like, what? And they're pointing up there, and it's Donnie, and he's like, get up here right now, And so I got up there and I just sang like it was Motley Crue, and then they played another Motley Crue, and they played Quiet Riot and Twisted
I remember
Sister.
there was a whole set, and you were
There was
there.
a whole set, yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's and so Donnie, Donnie, he's like, oh, I love Fozzie, bring the hat. Bring the hat when you come wherever. And so I did. Today, it was the following tour, I brought it. And so that's where he autographed it, was in Dallas. That's where he autographed the hat. Yeah.
Cool to have though, and like such a fun turn of events.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause like I said, I had no intention, but it was that Motley Crue, man. It did it. And I had no idea what was even going on until everybody was, pushing on me. So it was a lot of fun.
So how do you come up with your costumes? Like a lot of us do theme costumes with friends, but like this cruise, like you had some very unique, very well thought out outfits. So how do you come up with those? And do you ever like want to do a group costume, or do you really like just being the individual?
So we did do a group costume 2 of the nights, the Love Eternal night, and that's all credit to Jennifer and Angela. They came up with a full service for Love Eternal, and so we dressed like mechanics. I mean, we had red shirts. There was a big group of us, red shirts, and they had said full service on the back. We had like a gas can. It looked like a gas can, but we ended up putting like liquor in it. And so Angela had a gas can of Fireball, and then Jackie had a gas can of Malibu. And I don't know if y'all remember, but it was full service. We were behind the pool, and
Mm-hmm.
Joe, we were giving Joe shots.
Oh,
Angela gave him a shot of Fireball. And so, because Angela even had, oh, it was oil cans. Yes, Angela, thanks. It was oil cans, not gas cans. It was an oil can. And she had like a little pouch that had like shot glass, like plastic shot glasses in it. And so we were pouring shots and drinking shots. Well, she gave Joe a shot of Fireball, and he took it. And then a few minutes later, he came back over there and got another shot. And we didn't tell him what it was. He just took it, and he's like, what is this? And so they're yelling Malibu, and he's like, what? And we're yelling Malibu, and he said, you drunk bitches. It was so funny, because he wasn't I think he was expecting another Fireball, but it was Malibu. And so that was a lot of fun. But yeah, they did that costume, and then we did American Gladiators on
that's
GPS.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had the
jousts.
The jousts. Said that was a lot of fun.
Okay. And they must have been inflatable, right?
They
Like,
were inflatable. Yeah, we blew them up on the
wow.
boat, blew them up. But the other two were, like I said, I think back to my childhood, and I think about what things that make me happy, and I try to think outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Hamburglar, well, it's Hamburglar. That was my favorite Happy Meal character.
Yeah.
So I thought, bring back the time Hamburglar, but I called it Amberglar. And there's a reason it was called Amberglar. This is kind of a funny story. And John and Kevin were with me, but we were in St. Charles. And this was during the pandemic. We were in St. Charles, and we were at Whataburger. Ha! Whataburger is a Texas thing. We were at Wahlburgers.
Wahlburgers, yeah.
We were at Wahlburgers, and we had already like closed out our tab, but then I ended up getting another drink at some point, and we got real like frazzled and had to be in a hurry to leave, and so we left. And then it dawned on me that I walked out of there and did not pay for my drink. And so I'm freaking out. I call Wahlburgers and like, I am so sorry. I forgot to pay it. And they were so cool that they let me pay it over the phone. And so I did. And so we started calling myself Amberglar, because I basically like,
burgled Wahlburgers.
burgled Wahlburgers out of a drink. And so when Bring Back the Time was announced, I'm like, I'm going to do Hamburglar, but I'm going to call it Amberglar. And I got so lucky because I found a costume. And then on the back, we put Christina. Christina was a genius because she helped me come up with a lot of the ideas too. And we put Amberglar on the back. And then the same thing with Cousin Eddie. That's my favorite movie, which, Melanie, have you watched it yet? Oh,
No.
you got to watch it.
I've never seen, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
You may have to like document it for all of us on like TikTok, like finally watching this movie.
But you know what? But I did understand the reference.
Okay,
I recognized who you were supposed to be, but I just don't understand the characters like in context of the film. And
well, cousin Eddie is a mess. I mean, I always relate to the messy characters on every show or every movie that's my favorite. I relate. And so I'm like, Halloween, it's going to definitely be Cousin Eddie. And I found all of the pieces to that too. And I even had this cigar, which that thing tasted terrible. Like
that was a cigar?
It was a real cigar.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was a real cigar, and it was fine, but cigars are gross, but it really completed the costume.
completed the look.
So
You had to do it.
I had to do it. So yeah.
So when I saw you on the first day of the cruise, you told me that you had boarded the boat a little bit earlier than the rest of us. So can you talk to us about the pre-cruise?
Yeah, so we decided, a couple of my friends, well, Jennifer and Angela, they had done it before. And so we thought, well, let's do it because it's really nice just to kind of relax. Like it's just it's total relaxation.
So
and
what
very
is the
low-key.
pre-cruise? Just in case anybody doesn't know what that is.
It's basically it's a cruise on Carnival. It's the cruise before the cruise, and so it's the same boat. That was fine. It's the same boat. It's the same amount of days. I think it might have been 3 days or 4 days. It's around the same amount of time, and it's the same boat. And so really all you do is you we got off the boat, but then we just turned around and got back on the boat. That was really the only benefit. Now, okay, it was 3 days, Angela's saying. Now, Angela and Jennifer were in the same cabin, so that made it real convenient for their bags. We had a different cabin, but still it wasn't a problem. They just moved our bags. So it was really nice just to relax and unwind and not have to worry about all of that. But, what I think and what I know some other people have talked about too is maybe doing it afterwards would be, because then you can just sleep,
Just sleep. Yeah.
And we did that. We slept, we ate, we relaxed,
And it's quite affordable, right? That little pre-cruise?
It's very affordable.
Like, how much was it?
It's ridiculous, actually, when you think about how much we pay.
Because
it was about $330.
right, for the full 3 days.
Yeah.
So when you compare that to how much a hotel is in Miami for one night,
yes,
it's definitely a solid option that we more of us might explore the next time around. So you're saying that maybe next time you would look at doing the post cruise, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, or even I think either one would be fine. It's really, I would have never thought to do it in the past. Post might be a little better just because you could sleep and chill, after, which that's when you probably really need it the most anyway. But yeah, very cheap in comparison, and so like you said, that was pretty much the thought process. I know, Jennifer, it's fine. Telling our pre-cruise secrets. But it's like when you say after you pay for hotels and, all
Food.
of that food, you spend that much anyway. So yeah.
And you booked this directly through Carnival, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just booked directly. It's booked directly through. Yeah. So it was fun.
I think that's
so there's a hot tip for cruisers in the future.
Mm-hmm.
We actually, after we had got back to Miami, we booked a resort just for like day sleeping, just to kind of get our bearings again. And I would do that for like 2 or 3 days too next time. Like make another little extra vacation just at a chill spot where you can lay on the beach and get some rest and all of that. So it's like pre-cruise, post-cruise, pre-holiday, post-holiday, like just making it a
I remember on my first cruise, which was out of New Orleans, I stuck around an extra day to explore New Orleans. I was so tired. I really I pushed through and like did the tours and walked around, went shopping and stuff, but I was a zombie. I was so tired. So I think if I were to do it again and like stick around in this city, I would keep my expectations very, very low and just really just plan to sleep.
Yep.
Yeah, and I like the idea of doing, whether it's a pre or a post, but doing something where it's at least 2 or 3 days before or 2 or 3 days after for sure, because either way, you need to be rested, you need to be recharged before, or then, rested and recharged either before or after, because you're just going.
Marina just said she stayed an extra day in Miami and ended up sleeping the first day, and the second day was just a zombie. I think that's all of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figure if I'm going to be a zombie, I might as well have like zero plans and just be okay with paying for the hotel in whatever city, or I'll just be a zombie at home.
Yeah,
for free.
For sure. Yeah.
Go ahead, Ashley.
So, what was your legendary moment on this cruise? I feel like you had a few.
I think really my legendary would more than likely, I did jump in the pool in my costume. Well, I kind of took pieces of it off. Of course, it was during, We're Not Gonna Take It, Twisted Sister. I'm telling you, like when they, I love all things 80s. And so they played it and people were kind of jumping in. And it's funny because my friend Jen, left me unsupervised for a hot minute. Oh, sail away. Yeah, I guess that, eating a sandwich in the pool. I got in trouble for that, by the way.
Was no food allowed in the pool? Or?
No, apparently not.
Okay. Okay, noted.
Well, it was at sail away. Like I just got wild this cruise because, Reagan wasn't there. I wasn't, and Reagan hadn't been there before, but I got ridiculous. And
And
so,
Reagan is your daughter.
yeah, she's my daughter. I drank the whole time I was on this boat. So at sail away, I was already a little whatever. And so I'm laying in that little round area and I'm hungry. So I'm just laying there and someone brings me a sandwich, so I'm taking a bite of the sandwich, and then someone from Carnival comes in there, no eating in the pool, and he's like picking up the crumbs. I mean, I'm like, I'm so sorry. So, but yeah, I ate a sandwich in the pool, jumped in the pool. That was before the pool started backing up or whatever. But I think all of it was pretty legend. It was the costumes were fun. I had the best time. We kind of stayed in the back. By the pool is kind of where we like to hang out. So it was great. It was a lot of fun.
Something that came up in the chat last week when John was talking was, okay, what is the Amber Rule?
I know.
What is the Amber Rule? I need to know. Because it's been mentioned here tonight.
Yeah, it's a face palm. So, that was and that's why the Amber Rule has now turned into me being the queen of the Slugga Lounge. Okay. So Amber Rule was in Dallas. That's like, I was in Dallas, and my doctor had just prescribed me Vyvanse, which, if y'all don't know, I know. Vyvanse is for ADD mainly, or ADHD, and he had just prescribed it to me, and maybe a couple of days prior, and so I took one, because he told me to, and so I started taking it, and went to the concert, and the Slugga Lounge was there, and this was early in the tour, and so they have liquor, and it's like, do you want vodka or Hennessy? And I'm like, okay, I'll take vodka. And so Mook gives me some vodka, and it's in a solo cup, but I'm drinking it, and then he gives me some more, and I'm drinking it, and I'm having a good time. Everything's fine. I'm meeting, hanging out, whatever, and then I start not to remember things, but it was when I sat down for that group photo that we did, I could not get back up. And that's where I was like in the window. Well, I think I was in the window before, but like laying in the window. And then we took the group picture. I took it, and then I could not get up. I was passed out. I was puking in the solo cup. My friend Melissa and Angela were in there, and they ended up taking me to first aid in a wheelchair. I mean, I was in a wheelchair. It's embarrassing because they rolled me through the arena, y'all, like through the arena to first aid, and I'm being rolled through the arena, and word gets to Reagan, who's in a bar stool, that someone tells her, which is fine, but oh my gosh, I just saw your mama. She's passed out in a wheelchair. So I get to first aid, they take care of me, I sober up, I do fine, but Reagan, I remember she came down there and she was pissed. Mm-hmm. And I understand, but so I, kind of took a little nap in the pre-show, and then I remember Salt and Peppa coming on, and I woke up and I was fine, I was doing my thing, whatever. And so show's over, we go to see Donnie after the show, and everybody's shocked that I'm even walking. After we see Donnie and whatnot, we saw one of the guys, True, from Slugga Lounge, and he was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe you're walking. We were so worried about you, yada, yada. And he was like, but I have to tell you, we now have something called the Amber Rule. And I'm like, well, what is that? And he was like, no more liquor we're not serving any more liquor in the Slugga Lounge. I'm like, oh, great. So
everyone who's in the Slugga Lounge, and expecting alcohol, and it wasn't there, it's because of
I know. Well, they were saying it on social media, like, oh, there's no more alcohol. I'm like, oh, I'm like, oh.
You know what, though? The only reason we can joke about this is because you're such a champ, and like, the fact that you've kind of like owned this, like, oh my gosh,
I know,
that was silly. It just it's so endearing about you, and also it's a memory. Like, this is something you will never forget, and it's hilarious.
Oh no, we'll never forget. Like, I have a picture and everything. I'm in this wheelchair, and Melissa tells, I think, Ben, will you take a picture? And Ben's like, I don't think we should do that, to her. And Melissa's like, oh no, let's take one. And so I'm slumped over like this, and she's behind me in her beautiful red dress, all done. And she's, it's funny now. The picture is funny now. And then even even in the EMT area, you know, they're fixing we've got pictures of them putting on my makeup. They're trying to put, you know, because ultimately they want to get me to the show. And so, but EMTs aren't, you know, they're not going to first aid's not going to let you leave until you at least whatever. And so they're putting my makeup on, we're trying, and they got pictures of that too. So I have really good friends that took really good care of me. And then that's how, like I said, that's how John and I met. And John and I know the wheelchair said, John and I are instantly like this ever since. I love him. And so it was a good memory now. And it was, you know, and I made great friends, Angela and John, and we've been friends ever since. So yeah, it was good. Like really fun now.
It's so,
But yeah, that's pretty much how the Amber Rule was born.
you straight up Mariah'd that wheelchair.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to send y'all that picture just so
Yeah.
you can have a visual of how
I think
terrible.
I've seen it. I've seen it because
Oh,
I'm
great.
modeling in it.
That's right. I think
Yeah.
she did. Yeah, we waited a really while before I was like, okay, I guess you can post it now. Don't, you know, it was at least 6 months to a year when I was like, okay, that's fine.
You do
So
need
this-
a crown next time. If you're gonna be queen of the Slugger Lounge, you need to have a crown.
Yeah, and so I did. I went to a lot of shows this tour, and you know, Queen of the Slugger Lounge. It was cute. You know, I love Naughty. I love all of them. They were very concerned, but they're good people. And I told them, I was like, and I'm gonna tell you what, I quit taking Vyvanse after that. I wouldn't even ever take it again because I'm like, that's terrible. But I was dumb and didn't realize you probably shouldn't be drinking with it. Lesson learned.
Lesson learned, yeah. I've got another cruise question for you. So you had mentioned that you've cruised with your daughter in the past, and this time you didn't go with your daughter. So what was that experience like? Like, what's it like cruising with your children?
So, you know, like I said, she's really the one that really wanted to do it. I mean, I didn't really know anything about it, have any interest. It was really all her. And so, you know, that we didn't really know what to expect. We didn't know anybody. And so we didn't know what to expect. And she was 19 at the time. We didn't even really dress up or anything. But the third night was Halloween night, and she got on stage with Joey, who was her favorite, and she got to dance with Joey and all this stuff, and it was great. And so GPS night, I went to bed pretty early because I thought, okay, well, I've got to get up and drive the next morning. And so I went to bed. Well, Reagan gets up on stage again and just wins Donnie's heart over. And so she busts in the room, and I thought that the ship had already, like, something had happened because she was just freaking out so much. And so that was our first one. And we're like, okay, well, I guess we're going again. So she did 17 as well. And I was still a little bit in mom mode, but it wasn't that bad because we actually knew people, and there were some girls her age on there. And so she kind of hung out with them a little more, and I kind of let go a little more. But she was in nursing school during 18, so she didn't go, and then she couldn't go to this one. So 18, a little more loose for sure. It's definitely different because, you know, when you're with your kids, I'm in mom mode, and I can't really enjoy myself. My kids really haven't ever seen me inebriated unless, you know, she, you know, and that's why, because like I said, she was so disappointed and upset that I was in a wheelchair being rolled through American Airlines Center. And so, but that's the difference, really. It's just the mind mode that you're in, you know, and it's a big difference. But now she's 25, and so I'm sure she's going to go on the cruise next year. And now that she's 25, I don't really think that I'll be in mom mode actually, she'll be 26 by that cruise. So mom mode is going to be over, you know, because she's way of an adult. And so I'm still going to live my best life for sure.
Good.
As you should.
And she'll probably be embarrassed, but.
Well, as she should. That's what moms do, right?
The first time I ever saw you was on the 18 cruise, and I think it was Cedric. I can't remember who it was. I feel like it was Cedric. You went up on stage with your Fozzie hat, and I said, "Oh, who's that?" And I swear to God, it was him. Maybe it was someone in our little, like, group on that side of the stage who was like, "Oh, that's Reagan's mom." And I was like, who's Reagan? And now I know, but it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it is like you're not
Reagan,
mom mode. You are the mom in that case.
Reagan had, so that's what Donnie knew me as for the longest time, because Reagan, like I said, Reagan and Donnie bonded, and 20, when Reagan was pulled up on stage in 2016, they had it was just a cute little moment, and she was so excited, and they talked about 21 Pilots, and then she sang Summertime, and it was really sweet and really genuine, and so they bonded. And what's interesting about that man, and I know we've talked about Donnie before, but fast forward 5 months, and he remembered, he tweeted from the American Music Awards, tweeted Reagan and said, hey, your boys 21 Pilots just killed it on stage. And so 5 months later, he took the time to tweet her and talk about, 21 Pilots, because of how excited she was, hoping that, the DJ would have 21 Pilots, and of course they didn't. And then when he said, my son likes 21 Pilots, she really freaked out, and it was really sweet and really, really cute. And so 2018, when he pulled me up and I'm blah, 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 and then it's over and we're talking, I told him, I said, I'm Reagan's mom. And he was like, oh my, he about died. So he made the connection at that point. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So that's what everybody called me for the longest time, was Reagan's mom. Yep.
And now you're Fun Amber. Everyone knows.
I have all kinds of Ambi and Amber, Ambergler, Wonder Amber, Amber Petty, Fozzie. I'm all the things, but it's okay. I have all the different personalities to match all the different things.
You can handle all those names, right?
Yes,
Sounds like
I can handle it all. Yes.
And we love you for it.
What
Okay.
would be your dream theme night? So I forgot to.
I don't even really know. Like,
Yeah.
I've never really thought. I can pretty much go with the flow of any theme. I mean, I'd be fine with a Headbangers Ball,
I was just about to suggest that one for you.
Yeah, I'm all about it. Headbangers Ball would be pretty awesome, for sure. But yeah, and I'm pretty much, and I'm just gonna say, I say Lido because that's what the elevator lady says.
Okay, that was the last question.
Yeah, well, because she says deck 9, Lido, so that's just what I say. I've never even heard Lido before until I vaguely remember it. The
Donnie's really trying to make Lido happen, and we're not going to let it.
Well, the elevator lady says Lido, so you got to go with it when the elevator lady says it,
Somebody's asked, has there ever been a Mardi Gras night? Do we know?
I don't think so.
I think there was a masquerade.
There's been masquerade, but I don't know about Mardi Gras. Like, a couple of cruises have sailed out of New Orleans, and I remember the last one, there was a pre-party, and it had very much there was that brass band that came through with very much the New Orleans and Mardi Gras energy. So we got a bit of it there.
Yeah,
they're probably like Mardi Gras.
Yeah, I mean,
flashing them.
The beads. People trying to get their beads. Yeah.
Oh, that's probably the reason why, I bet. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, people would probably definitely be doing that. Yes.
Well, Amber, thank you for joining us. You are always just a wonderful person to talk to, and these conversations have been really fun for us. So I'm glad you had time tonight to meet with us. And then you're cool, so your dog didn't bother you. That's very thoughtful.
Well, I work 2 nights a week anyway at the school teaching a GED class, so I was already here, so that wasn't a big deal at all. But thank you guys for doing this, because I've been watching every week, and it's been really, really cool listening to everybody tell their stories and talk, and even some people that I'd never even met talking. So it's been very interesting. So we appreciate what you guys are doing.
Well, we know that you've been hanging out in the chat and you've been coming to all of these. So we appreciate you're always dropping in. And actually, you know what? There's another question that's come through for you, Amber, if you don't mind taking it. Somebody's asked,
sure.
Carla About Town has asked, how does Amber pack everything?
So I had 2 big, giant ass suitcases. I mean, I brought 2. I brought 2 bags, and then those packing cubes. Those packing cubes are amazing. I live by those. Yeah, I did. I kind of packed my costumes all together, and But I also did the pre-cruise, so I had to have 2 bags, you
Oh,
know.
okay, right.
But
Has
all my
anybody
food
ever
stuff
done
was in
like
one bag.
the vacuum sealing one? Like I think I did that one year where you don't need a vacuum, but you like roll it to get a lot of the air out. Have you guys ever done that?
I had some packing bags, but I also do Ziploc bags and I roll the air out and make them
Okay.
roll tight. But I didn't have, I mean, I actually packed most of my sister's costumes too, and I made a lot of them, but I tried to be strategic with what was involved in the outfits to like keep it to a minimum.
Yeah.
So like if they had big boots, like they packed that themselves. Like I'm not packing your big ass boots, but I did have like, my sister was Loki and she had like the big Loki horns. I did pack those. So it was a mess. But I had never heard after how many years of these packing box things.
The cubes. Packing
Oh,
cubes.
those are amazing.
And they're way better than the bags, because the first cruise I did, I tried the bags and I couldn't get them to work. Like they wouldn't work. And
Yeah.
so I bought some packing cubes, and then Misty, my friend Misty told me about another brand of packing cubes, and those were great. I mean, literally they zip twice. So you pack and you zip, and then you push down and you can zip it again.
Ooh, okay.
So they were really good. I was able to get a lot of stuff in with those for sure. Because you, like I said, you put your stuff in, you zip it, and then you push it down and then zip it again.
And it like compresses it even
and
more.
it compresses,
Yeah.
but it doesn't wrinkle everything. So
Okay.
it was great. Highly suggest those.
Packing cubes are a game changer. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at the knowledge you just shared with everyone. Everyone's going to be buying all the packing cubes on Amazon next time.
Yes.
I swear everybody that we've asked that question to has like raved about packing cubes. So if you don't already have a set, get some. I have 3 sets. Well, like one set is lost. I don't know where it is. So I have 2 on the go. But
well, and I bought one set that has Chloe cakes. You can get them on Amazon. And I'll send the brand of the cubes. I don't know how to get it to all of y'all, but the ones that I bought even had a laundry bag.
Post it in your stories, Amber, and folks can follow you. And
okay, yeah. I'll post it. I'll post those, the zip, the double zip, and then it came with a laundry bag. It was great. It was the best thing ever. So yeah, I'll post those for sure.
Anybody who's like jumping into the live right now, it's like these people are just obsessed with packing cubes and packing. What have I dropped into?
Yeah. No,
I will talk about more than that.
Yeah.
I kind of geeked out when Melanie told me like about her Google Doc for her packing. And then I was like, wait a second, like I thought I was organized. She's organized. You are very organized. So like for someone who gets, crazy about organizing life, like this is a conversation I could have for an hour.
Yeah, I saw someone post the other day in the Facebook group, so who still hasn't unpacked? And I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, I can't imagine. It's December, people. You need to unpack by now. Like it's December. That would make me crazy.
Okay, but at what point is it like it's not that you haven't unpacked, but you've started packing for the next cruise? Maybe they've just started packing for the next cruise.
It would make my eye twitch hardcore if I went to their house and saw their cruise stuff still out. I'd be like, oh, okay, let's put this away. How about I help you? I mean, I would get so on that. Like, let me help you put that stuff up.
I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus, but I have a friend who I saw in the comments earlier who found a little drink packet in her bag today. Like she had not unpacked her beach bag. And she had a Ziploc, like a drink bag that still had a part of a drink in it.
Oh.
Found in her bag today.
Oh, that's so funny. Paula, I'm coming to Boston to help you unpack. Oh my goodness.
I'm offering my assistance to anybody in Toronto who needs help unpacking. I can drop by because we gotta take care of that.
Yeah.
And I'm house, but I will get on the phone with you and just yell at you for a while.
Well, you got to unpack so that you can pack for Carnegie if you're going to Carnegie.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Are you going to Carnegie?
I am. Yes, I'm going to Carnegie. Yeah.
Ashley, are you?
No. It's my 40th birthday in February, so I had to prioritize.
Okay.
And I can't talk too loud about my plans because my kids are in the other room, but I had to make some plans and prioritize some things for my birthday. So I will not be there. I will be there in spirit, and I will be there next time.
There will be a next time. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Well, I'll see you in New York then, Amber. I'll see you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
It was great chatting with you. Thank you so much for sharing all of your wild stories and your practical tips. And we look forward to definitely seeing you on the cruise.
Okay. Yes, for sure.
All
Bye,
right.
you
Take
guys.
care. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. I think she's okay. So I'm going to invite our next guest. Let's see. I'm not sure I saw her in the chat. So hopefully she's around. There she is. All right.
Fun conversations tonight. This is awesome.
Always. All right. Come on, girl. Accept my invite.
Dun, da, 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 da.
Yay! Cherry!
Hello!
Everyone, this is my friend Cherry.
Hi, everyone.
I'm sure plenty of you already know Cherry, but can you let us know, Cherry, where are you joining us from and how many cruises have you been on?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm out here in Toronto.
She knows she has to be very careful when
I don't want people to know
describing
exactly
that.
where I'm at.
She's outside Toronto. She's in a suburb, but
Yeah. I've been on 3 cruises. I was on 2011, 2012, and this past cruise.
Okay, so you've got like a 10-year span between your second cruise and your third cruise. What were the differences that you noticed just in the cruise itself, like logistically, planning wise, whatever?
Yeah, and you know what? From the time we boarded, when we were boarding the ship, I was looking around, and usually, like the 2 cruises that I was on, the port was packed full of girls, and there was like barricades and all that. And this time it was just like, go in and you're on the boat.
Okay, but to be fair, the process has changed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because of COVID, right? In like 2018, it was
mess.
Not a mess.
Oh really?
It was busy outside. Because of like thanks to COVID, we had to book our boarding times, and it was a lot smoother. I think.
It was a lot smoother than, standing in a big crowd and then waiting after the guys get on the ship and all that stuff.
Yep.
So that whole time I was looking around, I'm like, I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw my stories you were right there beside me, and I was like, I know nobody.
You were telling me like I don't recognize any of these people.
Yeah, it's true. But that was one thing. The other thing was on the Lido deck, during the Lido deck parties.
Yeah.
The guys, when I was there, they were up, the spot where they come out, and they would just stay up there.
Oh, so they stayed up, like where the DJ is?
Yeah.
Okay.
They stayed up there, and this time around, this was my first time experiencing it, that they were out in the crowd, B stage and on the main stage, and then a little bit here and there on the top. Yeah.
Any other differences that you noticed, or those were the big ones?
Yeah, I honestly, like, everything just went by so fast. The other difference is that my sister and my best friend Adrian, who is watching right now, hi Adrian.
Hi Adrian.
They weren't with me.
They weren't there.
Yeah.
So aside from so you were also 10 years older between your second cruise and your third cruise. So did you notice any difference on the effect that the experience had on you, like mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, all that stuff?
Mel, you were there.
I know. I know, but I gotta ask a question.
So mentally and physically, I was good because I was riding my bike every day, because where I was on the ship, I knew I was going to be running up and down those stairs. Yeah. So I strengthened my cardiovascular system.
Oh,
so like
leading up to the cruise.
Yeah, leading up to it, right? Mentally, I thought I was good until I started ugly crying at some points. Because I just couldn't believe that I was back there, and just having that experience. I think the first day on the Lido, when we were doing the oath, do you remember that?
Yeah.
When we were reciting everything, and Johnny was like, I will leave everything behind, my fears, my worries, and all that stuff, right? And then I started getting the frog in my throat. I was like, don't cry.
It's too early to start crying.
It's just the beginning. Right? So yeah. Physically, okay, and spiritually, yeah, I was good.
Yeah.
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 I just gave I had time to myself to appreciate and be grateful for being there. Yeah.
Do on this cruise is just be grateful to be there and just be like present.
Right.
So even if that causes some emotion at many points, I know I cried several times this cruise as well. So, but I'm a crier anyway. Like I cry over commercials, so I can't say much about it. But it's something about him being up there, and he really is saying the things that like are speaking right to your heart.
I know.
And this is an oath, that we've said before, and if we haven't said it, we've heard it before, like on YouTube or wherever. And like now we get to recite it and take it to heart and put it into action, right?
Yeah.
So that's when, like a lot of people have mentioned, the sail away party is when everything becomes real.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And honestly, it was really exciting to be back there, because once I got out, because I don't know if you remember, I separated with you girls, and then I took a nap for an hour before the sail away, and then all of a sudden I hear this voice on the PA going, hello, and I was like, Donnie? Right? So all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I have 30 minutes to get up on the Lido deck. So I started like getting ready, and then I was trying to message you girls, trying to get up there. And then as soon as I got up there, I started seeing people that I knew, and it was really nice to like get out there, say hello, and hug everyone, because it's something that we didn't get a chance to do for a few years.
So like, at the beginning, Cherry was talking about like boarding the boat and looking around, was like, I don't recognize any of these people. But once we were on the cruise, I swear, if like I was with her, every 30 seconds, she was like, oh my, somebody was like chasing after, oh my God, Cherry, I can't believe it. So, eventually you did run into a lot of people that you had met from previous cruises, right? Yeah.
Cruises and from the concerts.
Yeah.
And like over the years of doing, from doing all the concerts.
So what was your most legendary moment on the cruise this year?
I have a couple.
Yeah.
The one that really stuck out for me would be my Joe moment.
Oh, okay. We'll get into that later. Yeah.
Okay, let's, you know what? It was bonding with blockheads. And there was one day, I think it was the last day when I was there with Nadia, Nad and Sab from Chair Chatter and Earl. We were having lunch, and Teresa, Chloe Cakes,
she's here.
Hi, Teresa. She had come up and introduced herself to us. And I think this part was very legendary for me because, oh my God, sorry. Because it was like the love that, for people that we don't even know. You know what I mean? Oh gosh, I'm crying on camera. Sorry.
Okay.
This is the part we're talking about emotional.
Yeah.
So
this is the emotional effect that the cruise has on you.
Yeah. So meeting people that you don't even know that share the same love for the guys that we love so much. You know what I mean? Like this was like our sisterhood. Teresa came over, introduced herself to us, shared her story, and like, we felt and empathized with her. And, we were there for her too. You know what I mean? So it was just like we shared that love for a sister that I didn't even know.
And this has nothing to do with the new kids.
No.
It wasn't, it was a moment of like a downtime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the quieter moments during the cruise.
Yeah. Sorry for crying.
No.
It is one of my legendary moments because, it wasn't anything with partying out on the Lido deck. It was getting to know others on the boat. You know what I mean? So that was...
Sorry, I was just thinking about... I remember like after the GPS night, you and we were just like in my room and we had our legs up on the on the wall, just trying to like bring the circulation. I have no idea. And then we were watching NKTV and a commercial came on for something. And then out of nowhere you go, do you remember there was that contest like with McDonald's during like the Magic Summer Tour and like you could win like whatever, like a concert or VIP passes? And then we're like, yeah. Like, did you win? And you were like, no. I just remembered.
No, I just remembered.
That's Cherry. That's Cherry.
Sharing my stories. I don't even know if my sister's on here, but she would be like, oh my God. Cherry and her stories.
Well, that's one of the many reasons that we love.
Yeah.
So listen, you mentioned your Joe moment. And just to kind of set it up, Cherry is a professional makeup artist and spray tanner by day. And she had the opportunity to do Joe's makeup for Halloween night when he dressed as Mozart. And you also like styled his wig as well. Can you tell us about that whole experience? What was that like?
Oh, honestly, he was very professional. You know, I saw him the day before and I was talking to somebody. Donnie had just come by. Oh no, Donnie came over after. Joe was coming down the hallway and he was just looking for white makeup. And it just happened. They're like, oh, Cherry's a professional makeup artist. Right? So he's like, yeah, so
is that how he talks?
He just comes over and he's like, so I was like, yeah, so I just need white makeup, you know, just white makeup. I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Right.
No
I'll go to the Mac store on the boat.
Yeah. Like, yeah. So I was like, yeah, sure. No problem. So I'm like turning to my friend Ange and I'm like, where am I going to get white makeup from? Because all I brought was like tan colored makeup for us because we're in the sun. Right. So I was able to find a couple of girls. So Sab, Ange, and my roommate, Jen, they found me white makeup for the night. And,
and when you say white makeup, we're talking about like aggressive, like
the Halloween white makeup. Halloween.
Yes.
So he was like, "Oh, it's just a 16th century look." I didn't even know he was Mozart after I did his.
We were Googling. We were like, "Oh, what would that be?" We were like, "Is it like Dangerous Liaisons? Is it like Marie Antoinette?" We're trying to like. It was like this guessing game to figure out what he was trying to dress up as.
Yeah. So after I was doing his makeup and everything. He's like, do you have any rouge? And I was like, what do you mean rouge? And he's like, I was like, oh, you mean blush? And he's like, yeah. Well, you said you just needed white makeup and that was it. So I brought setting powder and the white makeup. And I looked at him, I was like, you said you just needed white makeup. So we had to find somebody with blush to come back to the room because that's all I brought. And then.
And your room was like.
I was like, oh, I can go back downstairs and I'll come back up. And he's like, no. He's like, he goes running and then he comes back and he's like, here, put this on my face. And he's like,
is that how he talks?
No. He didn't say it like that. Okay. But he, I took the blush and he goes, just dab it on my cheeks. I'm like, he goes, don't blend it out. I'm like, how am I supposed to promote this on my Instagram page? Right. So he's like, oh, it's perfect. And he's like, hey, now help me with the wig. So I put the wig on and he was asking for like the hair ties. And I was like I said, you just said white makeup. So we found a hair tie and he wanted 2 ponytails, but we just did one. And then he was worried about the little black hair tie showing. And I covered it with the curls from the wig and it was fine. Yeah. And then after that, we were supposed to get a selfie afterwards. And I was just like, okay, well, you're done. Okay, bye. And I ran out of the room. And after I got to the elevator, I was like, shoot, I forgot my picture. So, yeah.
There was end up getting that picture?
I did the next day. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mentioned this before, but we discovered a few days in that our room was in the same hallway that they passed when they're going to the theater. So like after like his first solo like show, we like sprinted up to our room and just kind of like casually hung outside of our room.
It was like, oh, look at this wall sconce. Oh, this is so nice.
Wow, I just love hanging out in the hall.
Yeah. So
And it
yeah.
was a great picture. Your picture with him is so adorable. I love it.
Honestly, I never take pictures with Joe. I think I have one picture with him from a meet and greet, maybe. I've never had a solo picture with him. Danny's always in the picture with us. Damn it. But I can always crop Danny out, right? But I always like to keep both of them in there. But
sorry, Ashley, I'm like totally monopolizing the
No,
conversation
I-
here. Do you have any questions?
I'm just loving this. So it's funny that he said rouge because that's very much like a theater term, and being that he's a theater,
Yeah.
a lot of what
But
you're talking, the way he was talking about his makeup and everything is like very. My husband is a theater dance guy, so I'm just
okay.
like,
I was like, what do you mean rouge?
I hear that. So when you're in that moment, because I think we've all maybe not all of us, but when you have a moment where you're like face to face with a new kid and like they're just people, it's very strange.
Yeah.
So like, was there any point in the makeup thing where you were just like, is this happening, or did it go by so fast that you were just kind of rolling with it?
Well, okay. So originally when I was setting up, well, I didn't really have a lot. I just had my foundations with me and my setting powder. So I'm putting it out on the vanity and I turn around and I had to collect myself for a second. I was like, hello, my name's Cherry from Cherry Dolls. Did you get a chance to wash your face yet? Do you have any moisturizer? He's like, can we just skip these steps?
I think we learned he doesn't moisturize, right? No,
Well,
he didn't have
I don't know.
moisturizer.
Or he just didn't want to, like, he just wanted to skip it because they were on a time limit.
Yeah.
Right? Jared was like, we gotta go. Hurry up.
Right? So it was a high pressure situation.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I was just like, I was going through the motions. He was a client like everybody else.
Right.
It wasn't until after I left that I was like, oh my God, I did Joe's makeup.
Were you like applying the makeup? Like
No. I was just like doing my job, and there were a couple of other people in the room, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
Like, we all hope to have a conversation with him or get a picture with him, but you were like literally touching his face.
Yeah. It was an honor. Honestly, he was my first crush out of the new kids. He was my first love for new kids.
Oh, did you
And
tell
then
him
I
that?
hopped over to Jordan. Then I hopped over to Danny and Donnie.
So where are you now? You're in a
I'm in between Danny and Donnie.
okay.
Like, yeah.
So if you got the chance to do any of the other new kids makeup for like a theme night, whose makeup would it be and for what theme night?
Oh my God. I don't even know. Whose makeup? I would do Jordan's makeup.
Okay. And what would you like, dress them as, or if it were a particular theme night, what theme night?
I don't even know what theme. Give me a costume and then I'll
And then you'll
think of
make it
anything.
happen, right? You don't even need to have brought like a crazy assortment of makeup on the cruise because you just crowdsource it, right?
Yeah, well, for that I did, but
Yeah.
I brought my whole kit with me. Like you saw my kit.
Yeah.
I brought everything, right? Because I was doing like people's makeup and
Yeah, that was somebody's question, if you were doing makeup for other blockheads on the boat.
just I did for a few.
Yeah.
It was
And-
very quick, very
And
quick.
then Angela's asked, so are you going to bring a larger, more makeup on the next cruise? No. Because you know what? She's coming from Canada, right? So although you had a massive suitcase.
Oh my God, my suitcase! I could have fit myself. I could have fit Mel in myself.
Yeah. It was massive, but it was really cute. It's really nice
Thank
pink.
you. Yeah, it was rose gold. It was rose gold.
Rose gold.
So-
I stand corrected.
Ashley, I packed my suitcase in Ziplocs. Okay, Ziploc bags. So I don't sleep that long.
No, she didn't.
I woke up at like 4:00 in the morning the day of the sail away, and so it was like 4:13 when I woke up, and my eyes were wide open. I was like, "What am I gonna do? Everybody's still sleeping, right?" So I took a shower, and then halfway through it, Mel's like, "Can you turn the light off?"
I felt like such a jerk, but I was like, it's really early.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, sorry, let me just turn my phone light back on and then, go through it. So I'm like, oh, I want to change now. What should I do? So I'm trying to open my suitcase and all I hear is crinkle, 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 crinkle. And I was like, oh, shoot. And I was just like, I have a full face of makeup on, still in my pajamas. And I just got back into the covers and I was like,
It's like laying there.
till everybody was ready to wake up. And I was like, good morning.
She's all dolled up. She's ready to go looking glamorous, just in her pajamas.
I
But
know. I think you guys got up at like 6:30 in the morning or 7-ish.
I don't know. I just have to turn on my pump up song, that Dua Lipa physical, and I'm just like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
So, okay, is there anything, now I know the answer to this.
Okay.
Is there anything from the cruise that you would redo? Or any regrets from the cruise?
Oh my God. So
This seems like a really interesting.
Okay, so the time that I was
I was saying, seems like Mel knows something that we all should know, and I want to hear it.
This is not hashtag Amber Rule like level regret, but it's a fun one.
So the day that we were on the beach, right? Everybody was like, where the Beach Olympics was, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go sleep. I'm gonna go back to the cabana and go to sleep.
Take pictures.
I was doing selfies with myself, and I was on Instagram and all that stuff. I checked my emails a few days before, and I didn't even bother to check it over again. And it wasn't until I got home, like 2 days after I got home, which was like on the Wednesday or the Thursday, because I stayed a few extra days in Miami. I got home and I was like, because I was cleaning up my emails, and I saw the email saying, congratulations, you've been selected for the Beach Olympics.
She missed it.
I missed it.
So if there's
'Cause I was
anybody here who happened to get a last minute spot in the Olympics, you were on Joe's team, right?
Yeah.
It was Cherry's spot.
Congratulations. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
I almost missed poker for the same reason.
Oh my God.
I did not know I was supposed to play poker in Donnie's tournament until we were boarding. And a girl, as we're like getting into the building, was like, I'm playing poker with you. I was like, what are you talking about? If she had said that, I wouldn't have shown up for poker. Not that I played with Donnie, but it's a little different. The Beach Olympics,
Yeah.
you would have been on the beach with Joe, but that is so
Right. I know, I was kicking myself. I was like, oh my God, are you serious? I was like,
I like the set of stories though that you posted like right after you discovered this. Like she posted like her email saying like, womp womp, I was supposed to be in the Olympics. And then her next stories are like, these are the things that I was doing instead of being in the Beach Olympics
like,
on a new kids team. And it's just her taking like selfies. Oh,
it was
gosh.
so good. Too
I
good.
just want to know if they were like calling your name and like everybody, it was just like crickets and like, Cherry,
They're like,
anybody?
He's like, don't call that bitch's name.
And we had a cabana like way down the beach. It was like number 13. So we didn't hear anything.
Oh, was 13?
I think so. 12. It was far. It was far.
13's a bad number.
Okay, it was 12. It was 12.
Okay.
all I know is I had was Jordan's team, and they had to be there very early to like practice and get their shit. And then she had time to come hang out with us. And then by the time the Olympics started or right before, they called them back. So like, if they were looking for you, they were looking for you for a while. It wasn't like just before the games.
Oh my God. That's okay. I wasn't dressed for it anyways.
Amber has a good suggestion. Or I'm taking as suggestion. She said, Cherry, please come to the pirate ship. Cherry,
I'm just going to stand there. Next time, I'm just going to hold my name up. I am Cherry. I am Cherry.
I'm here.
Yeah. Oh, Amber. Amber was the one that was dressed like the American Gladiators with the with the joust and everything.
Yeah.
I have videos from above, aerial view of them, like one of them like poking the other, and then somebody just lying on the floor, and somebody just like smashing them. I've got to send that. Or I've got to post it so she can see it. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was very entertaining.
That's amazing.
Sorry, somebody wants to say hi.
Oh,
hi! Oh, it's Madani.
It's Madani. Hi,
Oh,
Madani. She's just moving around right now. Okay, go on, go.
Cherry, somebody in the chat has asked, do you have any tips for keeping makeup from melting on the Lido?
Oh, blotting papers. They have blotting papers that you can use.
Mm-hmm.
All-nighter setting spray, but that will only work for a certain amount of time because if you're sweating, it's just sweat. But they do have sweat-proof makeup as well that you can get from MAC.
What about primer? Does that help?
A little bit.
Yeah.
But if you're sweating, you're still going to sweat and you need to like pat it down.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
So listen,
I
there.
have a question along the lines of that. How about eyelashes? Like when I sweat, my eyelashes start to peel off my face, no matter what glue I use.
Oh, really? So, using an eyeshadow primer.
Okay, I don't do
Okay,
that.
matte eyeshadow primer and setting powder first, and then put the put your liner, the eyeshadow, and then glue on the lash.
Okay, I like it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Look, you didn't even know it was gonna be like makeup talk with Sherry today.
Welcome.
Maybe some like right before the next cruise, we'll have to have you on, and you can just talk makeup.
Yeah.
Blockhead,
I can do it.
Lido deck. Yes, makeup.
Oh my gosh,
tips.
I should have taken a picture of the products that I was using for the cruise.
Ooh,
That's a good idea.
do that after. There's
Yeah.
your next reel.
Yeah, because either you want my sister's on. Hi, Candy. I was using either luminous makeup, so if somebody doesn't want too much, like Mel doesn't like a full face or anything, so it's just very light, right? But then I'll have somebody that wants like a lot of makeup, like me. You know what I mean? And then make it still look like my skin.
So, like in all of these lives, we've talked to baby blockheads. We've talked to like all-timers who've been on every single cruise. We've talked to first-timers as well. So you're like, I lovingly call you an OG who came out of retirement.
You feel so old.
So listen, if there's anybody else who, cruised early on and kind of like paused or, hung up their whatever, from cruising, like now that you're back in the game, do you have any words of encouragement or anything that you want to convey to them to maybe get them back on the boat and
get back on the boat? Just get back on the boat. It's a lot of fun.
Just do it.
And you know it is. If I'm there filming everybody. Hold on. Sorry, hold on a second. Madonna's gonna fall.
Uh-oh.
Oh, go, honey. Oh, good girl. Okay. Yeah, honestly, it's so much fun. I feel that because of everything that's happened over the last few years, it's just like, don't hesitate, because if it's things that you're saying, oh, I don't really want to do it anymore, or, next time I'll do it next time. Like, when I was going on this, I didn't know if I was actually gonna go, because I was like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you didn't end up booking until like after the tour, right? So it wasn't until like around August that you knew that you were coming.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was a lot of rushing, costumes and all that stuff, and that was actually a lot of fun. Actually, that was one of my other legendary moments, was making my Tina Turner costume.
Yes, I got the play-by-play of that.
We went to Value Village and picked up stuff from the secondhand store and put stuff together, and that was a lot of fun. And then on the ship,
so you were Tina Turner out of Mad Max, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So my shoulder pads were like out to here, and I had this really ugly 80s wig that was supposed to be like old Tina Turner hair, but her hair was like flipped this way. It wasn't like the spiky one. spiky. So I got it in and I was trying to explain to Mel what it looked like. And I was like, it was like, it looks like that dog, the dog detective guy.
So she's doing this over voice notes, okay?
And she's trying to get it and she's like, McGruff.
I was like, dog? Like, what dog wears a wig? Like Scooby-Doo? Like McGruff?
Yeah.
I did
like,
not
no.
understand what she was talking
I'm
about.
like,
And
it's
I
not
was
a
like
dog.
sending this via voice text and I was having like, I was having the heart, like I was dying of laughter because I was like, this is just insane. And then lo and behold, she was talking about Dog the Bounty Hunter.
So the wig came in as Dog the Bounty Hunter. So that night when I was wearing, I was still putting my costume together that night. And when I got it all together, I went up, I bought this beautiful blonde wig and it didn't even look anything like the Tina Turner hair. So when I bumped into Donnie, he was like, wow, what, turn around. And I was like, do you know who I am? And he's like, yeah, you're Pia Zadora. I was like, no, I'm Tina Turner. Right? And he's like, that's not her hair.
And I think afterwards, didn't we Google picture like Pia Zadora? Like we've heard of her, but we didn't understand the reference, right? And what movie he was talking about?
Yeah. So yeah, and then we saw it and then I was like, oh, okay, that is Pia Zadora's hair. But I was telling him, I was like, yeah, but I didn't want to wear the other one because it was ugly.
Yeah, no, it was, you ditched the Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
So I borrowed on the boat, I borrowed a nightlight from you. I was like, oh, this woman has a fucking nightlight, a nightlight in her suitcase. What is one of the other like random things that you packed that came in like super handy?
Ooh.
My selfie stick and this and my little mini ring light. Because at night, when we want to take pictures at night on the Lido deck, it's dark, right? So I had this to take pictures. So everyone's like, what are you doing, Cherry? I'm like, wait, hold on a second. It's going to look better. The pictures are going to look better. I'm telling you,
the way that she can maneuver, in one hand, she has her cell phone, and then she jimmies it on the stick, and then she, attaches the ring light, and then she like extends it, and it's like over the ledge at this point, and I'm just like, oh my God, the iPhone's gonna fall, oh my God, and she's just like such a pro at using it.
Oh, hey, Frank.
Such a good question.
Hi, Frank.
Like, we packed that was just like out of the ordinary, something you normally would not pack. But for this cruise, you like had to have it. And Frank just said tampons.
Yeah.
Which I feel like needs more information.
Is that for like a nose? Did you have a nosebleed, Frank? Or
yeah, no. Oh, and the nightlight that I gave you.
Yeah.
I brought 2, right? I did bring 2 because I don't want to walk into the room with just like the big bright light. I want it to look nice with a little bit of ambiance when I'm walking into the room.
You knew that I was going to have a mini meltdown in my
probably.
interior room and I would need it. Okay, but this wasn't just any nightlight. This was like, it had a remote control, okay? It had like 14, like I sat there one night just like really stressing out about what color I wanted to fall asleep to or wake up to. Every color. It was amazing. She got it from the dollar store.
Yeah,
I still have to get one.
Which dollar store?
Oh, it's a Dollarama.
It's a Canadian store called Dollarama. So it's not actually. It didn't actually cost $1. Like that probably cost like what, $5 or something.
$5.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was it.
Ashley, I can send you one if you want it.
Yeah. Oh my God, I would love it.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so nice to have it as a little nightlight.
I brought like tiny little fans that had USB connections, so I could just plug it into like my little phone charger thing. Because like I have a fan when I sleep, so a nightlight and a fan and I was up in the top bunk, be like my own little like oasis. I would have like next cruise I'm packing a nightlight and my fan.
I want to get one of those like shoulder fan thingies that people put around their necks because I feel like that would come in super handy for me.
Oh,
I know some people had it on the boat. I think Nikki has one from my so-called whatever.
Oh, okay.
Somebody has asked everyone, so Cherry and Ashley and everybody in the chat, Carla's asked, how do you get great Lido pics? Any. So we've got the selfie stick. We've got the mini night ring light. There's your setting spray. There's the makeup situation. What is any other hot tips on how to get good pictures on the Lido deck?
At night or during the day?
That's a good, I guess either. I don't know, Carla, if you want to specify if you meant night or day. My guess is she probably meant night.
Night. You gotta, oh my gosh, you need one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the only way, because if you see some of the videos that I had from GPS night, and I was just like lifting it up, you could just see the difference. As soon as I turned it on, everything, you could see everybody's face and it wasn't dim. Right? So this is one of the giveaways that they should give. With New Kids on the Block on here.
Yeah, you know, bless their hearts for the little bag of candies, but
oh my God, I didn't even touch this. It's still on my table there.
What is that? A stress ball? I need a stress ball.
It's chapstick.
Oh, it's chapstick. Yes. Okay.
Block Nation thing. No, that's so.
Thanks, Frank.
My advice is not good at night, because like Carla, I have like all my pictures look like the picture, your profile picture, but the lighting there, you're either blue or you're red, like, right? So like the light would be a big help. But this is like a general, if you're taking a selfie picture, you have to fake like you're laughing, even if you're not really laughing, because then you will get the best smile.
Oh, so yeah, I always do that. Like,
get a really good natural looking smile in a picture.
Yeah.
That's a good tip. And then you know how Donnie always takes pictures like they're like right up there?
Yeah.
Angles.
Yeah, it's all about the angles.
So none of this like
like looking down like this.
No. None of that. We don't know her. No.
No.
Somebody has also asked, and we always ask this anyway, what's your dream theme night? Maybe we touched on this already with the Joe makeup question, but
yeah. Oh no, this is different. So I'm a karaoke queen.
Okay. Where are we going with this?
Every night they had the same people up on the stage. They should do a karaoke night and have different people doing familiar songs that everybody knows, and then having people take turns.
Okay, but how are we dressing for that, Cherry?
Whatever the theme is.
Well, that's my question. What's the theme?
Oh my gosh. Rock star.
Oh, okay. Have you never come to one of these? I swear, no, she's been to a bunch of these. Okay, so like a rock star thing, that ties in really well. So you dress like your favorite rock star, and then you get up on stage and you sing like them. Okay.
Yeah. Like you have like
Mercury, you got to get up and sing Freddie Mercury. Like,
oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh, so choose wisely.
Yeah.
So thoughts and prayers.
It's not just like one person. Whoever.
Mariah Carey.
You can even have like different people dressed up as different people, but you can get up on the stage and still sing a Freddie Mercury song.
So what's your go-to karaoke song then? And then who would you by extension dress like?
Oh my gosh, it has nothing to do with the way that I would dress, but I like Whitney Houston's I Want to Dance with Somebody, because I did a music video when I was like 12. Candy, are you still here?
Oh, no. There she is.
A music video in New Jersey, and we recorded in that recording studio. I don't know if you guys remember having recording studios in the malls,
like at Canada's Wonderland, like that type of thing.
Yeah,
with, like the lasers in the background.
Yeah. So Candy and I did a music video.
Can you post that sometime? Do you still have access?
You know what? We're trying to find it. Because it was on VHS. So we're trying to figure out where that is. Candy's like, no. And be like, no, we're not posting that ever.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
But I do have I would do Hooked on You by the Sweet Sensation.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
So what would that outfit then look like? We like super like 80s type. Wait, do I know who Sweet Sensation is?
Do you know who Sweet Sensation is?
I thought I did. Are they like an 80s girl group?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would. What did they wear again? Oh, you know what? The music video, they were in a photography studio, and then there was like a runway, and then they were just dressed up in different outfits, and they were just like singing
Yeah, and it's so like super 80s then.
Yeah. Oh, tight dresses, white dresses, and there was ones where they were wearing glasses, and then they had the little bandanas around their heads. It was pretty cute.
Sounds cute. Well,
Yeah,
if
they
you need
opened
an
up.
additional member to Sweet Sensation,
Yeah.
I'm into it. I can
Okay.
join.
Dancer.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Is there
Yeah,
any?
they didn't play any. They didn't
Oh.
play any Sweet Sensation on the cruise for 80s night.
Somebody has asked. Carla is just full of questions. I love it. Carla's asked one last question for Terry, who has all the answers. How is she able to stand for hours on the Lido?
Okay, so I wore my platform wedges
Mm-hmm.
because I remember I brought so many pairs of shoes, and Mel was like, "You're not gonna use anything. You aren't gonna use those. Don't bring all your shoes." So I ended up bringing like 3 pairs of wedges. I brought my running shoes, just my regular workout running shoes. I brought dressy shoes, and then I brought my flip-flops, and I just interchanged them. The next day, what did I do? Oh, one day I sat in the hot tub to relax my muscles.
Right. Yes.
Right. And I had peppermint oil
Mm-hmm.
and CBD oil, and then I just rubbed it on my calves.
Mm-hmm. And if you haven't met Cherry, she's fun sized, right? So she kind of needs some like height, right?
Yeah.
So you were walking your like sneaker wedges.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are cute.
I can't go flat. I can't go flat because I'm flat-footed. So any elevation is better for my feet. I just feel it more in my calves, but with my calves I just like kind of roll it out. Massaging it, and Advil and the hot tub.
And there you go.
The hot tub is like I used on the 3rd day, I think.
Yeah, it was the day. It was the second beach day that we didn't get off the boat,
and that's where I was feeling it the most.
Yeah.
So Carla, the hot tub helped me, and then I relaxed, took a nap, and then I was good to go again for the night.
Yeah, and you just push. You just power through, right?
Yes.
Before you know it, the cruise is going to be over, and you're going to be talking about it 8 weeks later on Instagram Live.
Yeah, and then crying.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was it.
Is it like Cherry? Is it Lido or Lido?
I say Lido.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm noting that.
Has anyone Lido?
Yeah, I think Margaret did.
Oh, okay.
And I think maybe Nikki from Australia said Lido. So a Canadian and Australian.
Frank's asking, there was a hot tub? I was like, yeah, it was all the way in the very, very back of the restaurant.
By the pizza place.
Oh, yeah,
past the pizza place.
Very, very back.
Yeah. Are there any other questions for Cherry or for Ashley or me about the cruise, new kids stuff?
Can I talk about one more?
Yeah.
At the very moment?
Yeah.
Meeting Frank.
There you go. Do you want to like expand on that, or you just want to leave it?
Why don't we bring Frank online? Just kidding.
I don't know, Frank. Do you want to join the live? Frank.
We are going live again. If you would like to join us live as well.
We can come on another day. Yeah. So I met Frank. I met Frank on the cruise, and he came up to me and he was like, "Sorry, can I borrow? Can I talk to you, Cherry, for a second?" And he came up and he was just like, "Hi." Oh, he's cooking for his kids. Sorry, Frank.
We'll get you next time, Frank.
So he was like, "Oh, we know we have a bunch of mutual friends in common, and I also, he also works out and does fitness and all this stuff." And he was trying to show me his phone, and all of a sudden he's like, "Yeah, Terry Friendo from Inside Fitness," and I was like, "Yeah, I work with Inside Fitness," which is a magazine here in Canada. It's a fitness magazine in Canada.
So for anybody who doesn't know, again, just for a little bit more context, is like Cherry does a lot of work with bodybuilders, fitness competitors, like bikini competitions. So she works with a lot of people who like work out and are like really, really fit. And particularly like people who are, so you do their makeup for the actual competitions and then also for their photo shoots for like magazines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then met Frank Frank already knew you. Like he knew
Yeah, I
of you.
know.
He'd heard of like the legend that is cherry bombs, right?
I was like, oh my God. And he was just like, yeah, and I just got to show you this picture. And then he showed it to me and he was just like, this is me. And it was a picture of him on the cover of Inside Fitness magazine. I was like, oh my God, I know exactly who you are. So it was kind of like, it was really cool to, to meet another family member.
Yeah.
Not from like in a New Kids world.
And then you mentioned that like once you got home, you were at the studio and then you came across his picture on the wall.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So at the Inside Fitness headquarters, they have like magazines and stuff, and we just cleaned up on the other side. So I don't know where the box is full of the magazines and stuff. But once I find it, actually, I posted it. I posted the picture of Frank and I, and then if you swipe over, it's the picture of him on the cover.
Oh, fun.
But didn't you say that his picture's on the wall somewhere?
No.
Okay, not yet.
No.
It's not on the wall yet, but it will be probably.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting my stories mixed up.
Yeah. So he was here. Like he was in Toronto the same time I was. He was in the same, he was shooting with the main photographer that I work with. And I wasn't there that day and stuff. So it was kind of cool to actually meet him because I see the magazine. I know who he is from the magazine. I obviously, when we're not in am I predicting the future, Frank? Yeah, you're gonna come back on the cover. Bring it back. So yeah, we look different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it was nice to actually meet Frank on the cruise.
Here's a question from the chat for everybody. Again, those of us, on screen and then people in the chat. What is the best advice besides the no expectations rule that you can give to a first timer on the cruise?
Pack light.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't go crazy. You're going to wear the same hair shorts for like 2 days. You just are. You're going to wear the same 2 swimsuits. Don't pack 3 swimsuits. Like, you don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Your outfits are going to take up a lot of space. Focus on that and then just piece in everything else and figure out, like, if you're going to wear a pair of shorts one night and you can go wash them and wear them for another outfit, do it. But I cannot tell you, my first cruise, I packed so much shit I never even took out of my suitcase.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah.
And maybe don't bring a steamer. Steamers are not allowed. I've heard some people have like smuggled them on, but like Cherry, like a couple of days before, they was just like, I just bought a steamer. I'm like, they're not allowed.
They're gonna take it away. And I was like, no, they won't. And I was like, oh, I just spent like a lot of money on that. I'm not bringing it. Forget it.
Listen, I love, a steamer is great in everyday life. I hope you're getting a ton of use out of it now. It was worth the purchase. But there is an ironing room, right? Like I didn't go to it, but you visited it, right, Cherry? Like what's that all about?
No, I didn't have time. Oh, I didn't have time to go. That was the first night.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like, what was it called? Red and pink night. What was it? A Love Eternal night?
Yep.
I didn't have time to like.
Oh.
I didn't have time to do it, so my dress was wrinkled. If you look back at the pictures, my dress was wrinkled.
It's not that noticeable, trust me.
I tried to use the wrinkle guard, the Downy wrinkle guard.
Yeah, it's useless. I have no luck with the Downy wrinkle release, whatever it's called. What about you, Ashley? Have you ever used that like ironing room?
No. So what we figured out, I mean, obviously those bathrooms are tiny. So we just put our stuff in the bathroom.
Yeah, take a shower.
And then we'd immediately go take it outside if it was like humid. Yeah. And just put it on the lawn chairs. And it kind of just like the sea air or something like helped smooth it out. But also like everything else, it's dark on the Lido. Like think about that.
Yeah.
Like there's certain things that like you might know, but realistically you won't see anything from your hips up. Mm-hmm. Even if you get a selfie, it's chest up. That's where you focus your energy. What is this like? Anything below here?
I remember because Mel kept telling me, because I kept pulling up this little boot socks that I had, and she was like, stop fixing it. Nobody's looking down. Do you remember? Well, we were dancing when I was in the 80s outfit, when I was in my Tina Turner, and I kept trying to fix those like socks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, lessons learned.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm just imagining. So there's like some conversation about this ironing room.
Yeah,
Maybe
Frank
just
was asking.
imagining it. I'm pretty sure that Jackie, who was one of my other roommates, she went to a room where there was irons
Yeah,
because steamers and like irons, like cruisers aren't allowed to bring them on, so they have to
yeah.
have like some
There's
kind
a
of
laundry
solution.
room. It was a laundry room.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
But somebody else also mentioned like hanging your stuff in the bathroom when you're taking a shower. I like to do that too.
Yeah.
Like it's not perfect, but whatever. It just
It's
gets the
something.
superficial stuff out. Yeah.
Right.
So that's
Insulated thermoses.
insulated thermoses for what?
Oh gosh, I
What?
don't have. I bought Lori, who was here earlier, Lori Fredericks in the comments. I bought a thermos from her that was insulated, and so we would just load that up with water every time we passed the water things. So we'd always have
Yeah.
like fresh water in our rooms or whatever. Big help. Although next time I will order a much bigger one. Like Mel, you're drinking out of like a big
Mhm.
insulated mug right now. Like that's what I would order is a big ass mug.
See, we just ordered a bunch of bottled water,
Bottled
which isn't
water.
like sustainable. It's not the best, but we just ordered like a case of the smaller bottles and then a bunch of big bottles so that like when we're going to the Lido, we just grab one and take it with us. Yeah.
My problem is I drink, I'm not kidding you, like a 6-pack of sparkling water a day. So like I drink a lot of
Oh, okay. Yeah.
bottled water. I'm just downing it quick and like heading out. So I need like something I can carry with me or what is okay, we buy plastic cups.
Got it. Yeah. Oh, somebody mentioned bring straws.
Yep. The candy straws are gross.
Yeah, so they don't have regular straws on the boat anymore. It's
Oh,
these like
right.
sugary um straws that kind of like disintegrate, I guess, or like
Mhm.
melt. And yeah, some people aren't fans of them, so they bring their own either like disposable straws or like metal straws, I guess. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
For water too, because somebody was saying that the cruise water was salty, so it doesn't help with the cankle situation.
Mhm.
So, what you can do is bring electrolytes.
Yeah.
So I bought like a little pack of electrolytes, and then it just helps to rehydrate you if you didn't have enough water.
So that's like emergency. Those are like
Yeah,
the little packets you get them like orange or
grape.
like grape, yeah. And then I think like you can even get Gatorade, like
Yeah,
powdered Gatorade that you just add to water too.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's that. I mean, we've been at this for almost 2 hours. I think every week,
What?
Ashley, you and I are like, hey, we're gonna keep it to an hour, keep it to an hour. But the conversations have always been so much fun.
Totally.
I don't have. I'm out of questions. What about you?
Well, here's what I'll say. Everyone who's in the comments right now bringing up different ideas for cruise stuff, we're planning a live where we are going to just kind of have an open forum, less structured like some of these have been where we've had scheduled guests and we're asking them questions that we kind of formulated. And we're just going to have like a kind of like what we're doing right now, like more of a conversational live. So follow Melanie, follow Gacky Girls or myself, Ashley _Bartholomew_realtor. Announce that stuff. Like we're working on some ideas.
Yeah, we definitely plan on doing this for the rest of this month and then into January too. So if you would like to, come on screen and chat with us, please let us know because, we are, so far we've been chatting with people that we know, like Cherry, either the two of us knows or one of us knows, or people, that other friends have recommended. But, there's so many blockheads out there that we've yet to meet. So if you have any recommendations, please let us know. And Frank is asking, how often do you guys do this? We've been doing this every Wednesday. This is our 7th one in a row. So we've been at it for a while. So Frank, if you are up for joining us, please we'll reach out and we would love to have you.
Party
Every Wednesday night we start at, I think you're in LA, I think you're in California. We start at 6 Pacific.
Yep.
And we usually go for about an hour. Yeah, sometimes 2. And
Sometimes
you can find past ones on my Instagram and then also on Ashley's Instagram.
this is the second longest one we've done. The first longest one was Donnie surprising us. And then this is now the second one, but just because the conversations have been fire. So thanks, everyone. Thanks, Carrie. It's nice to meet you. I never met you, so it's nice to meet you finally.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Thank you
Thank you
so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming, Cherry and Amber and PJ and Jim and everyone in the chat. And as always, thanks, Megs, for moderating. And we will see you guys next week. And stay tuned to our Instagrams for details on the next one.
Oh,
right?
one more thing.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, bye.
It's not, my birthday's not today. My birthday's not today. My birthday was on Monday. Thank you.
The problem with you not having Facebook, Melanie, is that I don't know when your birthday is.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to write it down somewhere. It's just in Facebook. Night, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.